the hell? Why does it do this every time I stop? Do. This is just ridiculous. Makes no sense. Okay, this is what we'll do since it's not cooperating. Hang on, folks. Alright, I don't know why that's there. Now the chat. Why doesn't it do what it's supposed to do? Let's see. Hang on, folks. Hang on. I'm trying to grab this chat and pop out. Copy. And where'd it go? There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Every time, I guess I'm just using a way too old version of chat or of what's it called? OBS. So yeah, this is direct from last week. I was on vacation, Xander, so that's why it's taking me so long to do a reaction. So no, you didn't miss you didn't miss a direct. I don't think anyway. Got to do everything manual these days. Yeah. It's a user problem. Retro DZ. Let's go. Smash the like button harder than I smash my girl. Wow. You guys can hear me though, right? I see levels, but just to be safe. Can you hear me? Wait, is this mine? Oh yeah, it says Dad. I need confirmation. Waiting on confirmation. Can you hear me? Looking and sounding great. I don't know about looking. Look, I just woke up. Alright. Something looks crooked to me. I don't know. Alright. So here are my lazy ass Nintendo Direct impressions. I did. Oh, hold on. Sound is good, says Neostar. I hear the people in the background talking. Okay, hold on. Hey, people in the background, you're too loud. There you go. It's just because of my door. I need to reinforce my door here. It's very thin. I should have done it by now. I have all this stuff to do it. I'm just being super lazy, but I am working 2 jobs, so it's a little hard for me to get motivated sometimes. Um, let's see. All right, sound is good. Sound is good. Hold on 1 segundo. 1 segundo. Where is the audio? Audio. levels. And boom, 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 boom. Why do I have 2 audio inputs? You guys aren't hearing double, are you? You said sound is good, so. Alright. So. Hey there, fools. Sound is good here, says Matthew Shea. Alright, cool. So, welcome, guys. Retro Death, Xander, Matthew Shea, Neostar, whoever else is out there. Wait. Uh-oh. At least it did. Alright, hold on. Let me do this. Alright. Mic audio. Check. 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 People must hear everything in that room if the door is that thin. Bone chicka wow wow. Why is it holding that? No double audio for us. Okay, good. All right. So, let me bring up my list here because I got my list here on my good old iPad. Welcome everybody from Matthew Shea, Xander. Who did I say? Retro Death. Who else is in here? I think that's it. Well, at least I saw that's talking. Make sure you hit the like button. I need to check the live feed. I shouldn't have. Did I close it? No, it's right here. Make sure you hit that like button, folks. I'm gonna share this real quick. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm late. I just lost track of time. I was making dinner. So, all right. Oh, I guess with my title, I guess I could see how you might think. Oh, there's a Nintendo Direct going on right now. He's gonna do a live stream of it. No, sorry. I didn't mean it to look that way. All right, so I have my list here, and I don't want to say it's 30 games, but at least 30 announcements. Some of them are games, some of them are stuff we already knew about. So yeah, so all in all, I thought it was a really good direct, pretty solid. Thought it was a nice variety. Sure, it was probably RPG heavy and remaster heavy, but some solid announcements, some good, couple of good surprises. So let's get into it. Okay, you were muted for a moment there. Yeah, I did that on purpose, Matthew. I don't want you to hear me screaming. Let's see. So first up, was Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes. It's kind of weird. Three Hopes. I don't really want to go with the whole three houses thing and kind of tie it together, but it's kind of a weird title if you ask me. Um, but it doesn't matter. Cool. I mean, I haven't finished the first Fire Emblem Warriors yet. I think it was just came out at a time where there was just too much coming out in 2017. Was it 2017 or 2018? I feel like it was 2017. I could be wrong. But I bought it, played it a little bit, haven't really got through it. Man, I'm like a couple hours in, not that much. So I got to beat it before this new one comes out for sure. The cool thing about these Musu games is that it's not just straight up Musu. It does give you a Fire Emblem feel. It does kind of feel RPG-ish. You know, it tries to cater to the game, so that's cool. Um, so that's coming on June 24th, which is like 5 days before my birthday. Then we have Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Looks better. They look better. I wasn't a super fan of the, what do you call it, the art style. I'm still not overly, but it does look better. So it's grown on me. And that is April 8th of this year. And then a surprise. And I've kind of thought about it. I'm like, I probably will buy this because, again, I like games that probably shouldn't be on the hardware that it's put on. That's why I bought Witcher 3 for Switch. Because it just, it shouldn't be on there. But they did it, and it's a pretty good port. I mean, for what the Switch is, what the power is, it runs really well. It looks pretty decent for what, again, what the power of the Switch is. So, I would say, yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. Let me move this mic. Maybe it'll help with the background audio if I do this and do that. I don't know if it'll help, but I'll try it, see if that works. Let's see. Xander says Pokemon Warriors would be a game I'd probably get. And Matthew Shea says, when you have multiple systems, there's always too much coming out. Yeah, that's true. There's just too much coming out when you have multiple systems. That's just how it is, right? Right, I can't see the... Where's the live feed? I want to see... Where is it? There? Yeah, here. All right, cool. All right, cool. I got 17 people watching. I wasn't expecting anybody to be in here, so that's cool. So where are we? Advance Wars 1 and 2. Reboot Camp. Again, very cool for people who haven't played it. I think it's expensive now, the original games. So, this is a great way to get caught up on them. In a more modern look. Although sprites, 2D sprites never get old. So it's still good to play it that way too. But yeah, No Man's Sky, I was saying, just says summer, doesn't have a solid date, which is fine. Yeah, No Man's Sky has no business running on the Switch. And it does, and it looks pretty decent. Again, this is a procedurally generated game, and I feel like this is a win for me. Because I think it was Rob of Rule of Two who challenged me. Obviously it's not coming now, but remember, what's the game? Beyond Good and Evil, Beyond Good and Evil 2, and they showed it, and it was like, oh, you can fly from the ground out into space, and everything's connected, and it's seamless, blah blah blah, and he didn't think that the Switch could do that. And I'm like, well, it's not going to look as good or whatever as that, but I think the Switch could do that. The PS2 had games that... What was that PS2 game that did that, where you could just basically fly from the ground out into space seamlessly? Oh my God, what is that game called? I have it. I can't think of the name of it. But yeah, it's just, how you design the game for the hardware you're working on. So, again, No Man's Sky. I guess you could say even... what's the game? Starlink lended some credence to my theory about that, and obviously now No Man's Sky, because it's procedurally generated, and you can just fly all over and it's seamless. For the most part, I think there is some cutting and whatnot, but obviously it doesn't look as good as the PS4 version or the Xbox One version, but it looks pretty good for what it is. It looks pretty good for a Switch version, and I'm sure it's going to run well and do all the things it's supposed to do. So you can make that happen with the right people putting the game together. So that is a thing. Let me see. I'm gonna move this down so I can just see that. All right. I want Namco Museum, or I want Namco Museum Warriors, says Samuel. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so yeah, so No Man's Sky. The fourth one on the list was a huge surprise. I don't think anybody was predicting this. Nobody was really talking about it. And that is Mario Strikers Battle League. Wow. Mario Strikers is back, folks. And I love Mario Strikers on the GameCube. Liked it a lot on the Wii. The Wii version isn't as good. But I don't know. I'm not sure I gave the Wii version as much time as I gave the GameCube version. And I think that's the case with a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people just kind of dismiss the Wii version because they dismiss the Wii as far as core games go. A lot of people just use it for Wii Sports and Wii Fit and stuff like that. And when it came to core games, people just ignored the core games on the Wii, which I always tout. And I'm like, yo, there's a lot of cool core games, a lot of them on Wii. Likely more than, definitely more than what the GameCube got as far as core franchise games. So I just think it didn't get a fair shake. I think it's still a really good game, and even I didn't give it a fair shake probably. It was a different time, a different era. So, but yeah, it's cool, man. To have Strikers again, and yeah, I'm being cautiously optimistic because I was really excited for Mario Tennis, and it didn't really live up to what I was hoping. I was really excited for Mario Golf, and it didn't hold up to what I was hoping. And I'm still excited for Strikers, but I'm a little bit worried that it's going to be a little bit weaker, like those titles were, because they're all Mario Sports titles. But I believe, why I keep saying Next Level? Is that who it is? Next Level, who did Luigi's Mansion? I think, and they did the other Strikers games. I think they're working on this one, so that's a good sign. So we'll see. Then we got Splatoon 3, Salmon Run Next Wave, showing off bosses, and it's supposed to be summer 2022. Again, looked good. It looked a lot. I won't say a lot. It looked better than Splatoon 2, because I think Splatoon 2 was probably made for the Wii U. So Splatoon 3 is likely a ground up Switch title, and you can definitely see it. You can see it. But my worries, again, is that it's going to be locked to whenever Nintendo wants to have Salmon Run open. I just don't understand it. I don't know if they don't feel like they have the servers to run. I don't get it. I don't know. I'm not going to give them an excuse, but I just don't get it. That would definitely kill some of my excitement if you can't just get on and play it when you want to. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to do that. Get on and play Salmon Run with the fellas and not go and like, oh, let's do Salmon Run. Oh, it's locked right now. Because sometimes you play is sporadic. You can't set up everything. So, GameCube Master Race says Richard Death. I honestly thought Nintendo would just have merged the Mario sports games to take over Wii Sports mantle. I'm actually glad they didn't do that because I like the sports games individually. I like golf Mario Golf. I think if you do that, you're automatically going to water them down. You're going to water down the golf. You're going to water down the tennis. Whatever you put in there is going to be a watered down version of what used to be full fledged sports titles. So I don't want them to do that. I can understand the uh, I understand the sentiment in people wanting that, but I don't think they really want it if they see what happens in that situation. Because you can't make stellar, versions of everything in one game in one engine. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's good to have separate, engine and separate, gameplay mechanics for separate sports games. Or you're gonna have to water them down. It'll be a situation where it's like one of those Mario and Sonic Olympic games. Nothing wrong with those games, but like the individual sports don't stand out as good as they probably could if it was just okay. This is this game for that sport. This, you know what I'm saying? So, and next up was Front Mission. Wow, Super Nintendo, PS1. So the remake in Front Mission 1 and 2, I think, this summer and in the future. So I'm guessing one's going to come out this summer, and then Front Mission 2 remake will be in the future after that. So that was a surprise. Front Mission, it's like a strategy RPG where you use mechs, and I love mechs. I only played the PS1 ones, which is was it the 3? I think PS1 got 3. I think 4 was PS2. I'm not sure, but I liked it a lot. And it's one of those games you played back in the day. You kind of remember fondly, and you don't completely remember. So it's gonna be cool to go through that again, and with updated visuals and stuff. So, what's next? Disney Speedstorm this summer. I think it's a free to play game. The minute I saw it, I was thinking about Disney Speedway USA or Mickey Speedway USA, which is a N64 game made by Rare, and it was like super bland. But it was solid, you know what I mean? But it was just like a Disney, Mario Kart clone. So I thought that was an odd choice for Rare to make, especially after making their own stellar Diddy Kong Racing, and after obviously Mario Kart 64, to make a Mickey. It's fine if you're gonna make it, but it just didn't stand out. It wasn't like it seemed pretty bland. So Laker Link, what's up? Well, Samuel Einhorn says Namco Museum Warriors would just be a Musu that crosses over all the characters. Okay, I got you. And worlds from the games you expect to see in Namco Museum. So, Pac-Man and yada yada yada. Clonoa actually could be in there because that is a Namco game. So yeah, where was I? Blah, 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 blah. Disney Speedstorm. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, April 20th, 2022. So they got a date and everything. And it's the game didn't look very well, or didn't look very good, because it is a basically upscaled Wii game. And I'm like, the Wii game went all motion controls. I don't think the other versions did. At least not one. Maybe Force Unleashed 2 did use motion controls on Xbox 360. Maybe it was Kinect up. I don't know. I don't remember anyway. And PS3 with the Move. But I was like, why don't you just give us the 360 version, or PS3 and 360 version with the Wii Motion, because it just looks better. It looks a lot better than the Wii version upscaled. I don't know if it was just like, oh, it's easier just to implement that one because it already had motion in it. I don't know, but you look at it and it's a Wii game and it just doesn't. It don't look good, man. It don't look that good. I wish I would have liked a little bit more effort. Maybe merging the Wii game, because I think they're a little different. If I'm not mistaken, there's some differences between Force Unleashed for Wii and PS3 360. Those two are similar, but the Wii version I think was different, like different levels and stuff. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, it just didn't look that great, so I'm not really overly excited. I already have it on Wii, and it's just an upscaled Wii version. I don't really care too much for that. So, um, April 20th. Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection, I don't care. February 17th. Is that out already? I guess so. Um, SD Gundam Battle Alliance. I don't even remember this um, in the direct. This year, it says. Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition. February 17th. Is this out? No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. April 7th. So yeah. Uh, I said that it looked like the PC version of Final Fantasy VII. I mean, the PC version from like 98, 99, whenever that came out. It just looked like an upscaled PS1 game, and that's what this looks like. I wish they would have done a little bit more to it. They didn't have to go HD 2D or something. I think that would have taken away from the Final Fantasy kind of style. With the kind of pre-rendered backgrounds, and like 3D character models and stuff. But I wish it would have done something more. But again, it's cool. I don't think the game is that expensive. But I do remember, and I hope they fix this. There's no guarantee that they will fix it. But I remember the PS1 game had like pretty decently long load screens, load times and whatnot. So hopefully that's something they address in the Switch version. But again, not everybody's going to go back to a PS1 or whatever. It's not a convenient thing for a lot of people today. So this is be a way, if you care about Chrono Cross, to be able to play that game. So I'm not sure if I'll pick it up or not. I don't know if it's a physical copy or not. I would probably get it if it was, and just kind of stash it. But yeah, I don't know. So that is, what day did I say? April 7th for Chrono Cross. Oh, and it also comes with the Satellaview. What was it? What do they call those? When it's like almost like a, not graphic novel, but kind of like a novelized version, or a side story or something. My eye is killing me. Which is pretty cool because it was only on Satellaview, and if Nintendo's going to start bringing back stuff like that, it's going to be great for preservation and whatnot. I'll make another video talking about the Wii U 3DS thing. Eshop's closing, but it's cool that they make that kind of effort. And what was it, Detective Famicom? Stuff that didn't come out in this region. I'm sorry, hold on, guys. Something's in my eye. This eye's been bothering me since I was on vacation. I don't know why. Like the second to last day of vacation, it started to bother me. But yeah, so it's cool that they're doing that, bringing that out. Sandstorm says, "What up, T? What's up, Sandstorm?" Laker Link. I was trying to download MLB The Show online test, but internet and cable is busted. Have to wait till tomorrow. Is it your internet connection that's busted, or you're just having trouble with the internet for the game? I don't know. I think you're just saying your internet's busted. All right. Neostar 9. I had so many emotions during the Chrono Cross reveal. Excited it exists. Then I saw the performance. It had flashbacks to the original release. Yikes. Yeah, I didn't even mention that. Yeah, it didn't look great performance-wise. And like I said, visually it just looks like an up-resed PS1 game, which, those don't look great. So, hopefully those things get addressed. Let's see, when did I say that was coming? That's coming in April, so they don't have a ton of time. And who knows when that build was put together for the show. So it could be an old build. So we'll see. Hopefully it's good. Um, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, March 25th, 2022. This is so far, probably my GOTY, my game of the year, or the most anticipated game, I should say. I can't call it my GOTY because I haven't played it, but I'm just saying, like, highly anticipated game. There's one other, but I don't know if it's highly. I don't know if it's this highly because platformers are my heart. At heart, I am a space shooter platformer guy. That's where gaming started. Started with space shooters, and then it moved on to platformers, and so that's the origins of my gaming. So those games will always be top tier for me. I know they don't hold up in gaming today as like the most anticipated genre, but for me, that's where it's at, man. Let's see. Yeah, my cable says Laker Link. Okay, that's what I thought. JC Grooves, what's up, JC? How's it going, my man? Sandstorm says, I'm late to the show, but are you excited for Kirby? Well, I just mentioned Kirby, and I'll get to Live Alive. It's hard for me to say Live Alive because I used to always call it Live Alive. I thought that's how it's pronounced, and other people. I'll get into it, but anyway, Kirby looks fantastic. Looks great. I think Planet Robobot. It's between Planet Robobot and Crystal Shards being my favorite Kirby games. And Crystal Shards is probably more of a nostalgia thing because N64 is my favorite console. And I don't know if I would say because Crystal Shards is kind of slow. It's a slower paced game, which is fine. But Planet Robobot is fantastic. And I think it looks like Forgotten Land is going to overtake it as my favorite Kirby game. So it looks so good. Forgotten Land says Retro Death. Hilarious. Mouth is super dry. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Like I said, platformers will always take precedent as far as my most anticipated games go. It's just part of my DNA. So, it is what it is. Retro Justice Crystal Shards is God tier though. The mixing of powers, that 2.5D. Yeah, I mean, I think I want to say it's my favorite, but again, I don't want to have nostalgia mixing in there. But it is great. It's a great game. And it's tough. It's one of the tougher Kirby games. Kirby gets a lot of flack for being easy. But if you want to do everything like you want to 100% it, it can be a little harder. So, but yeah. Kirby Breath of the Wild looks nice, says Xander. I love that everything is compared to Breath of the Wild now. The game is so god tier that people just say whatever of the wild for whatever game. Or whatever Breath of the Wild. Let's see. Where are we now? Kirby Forgotten Land. Okay, MLB The Show, April 5th. It's just cool to have a serious licensed sports game on a Nintendo console again. And obviously we have 2K. I just meant this generation. So now we got in FIFA. I don't want to count FIFA because FIFA is at least FIFA on Switch is pretty trash. But I think the 2K games are great. The basketball, and now it's cool to have baseball. It'd be nice to have football, but I don't really care for Madden much anymore. So it is what it is. NFL didn't like the fact that stuff like Blitz the League was being made, and they wanted to focus on. I don't know if John Madden had a word about that or anything, because back in the day, he famously didn't want the game to come out because it was like an 8-on-8 or 7-on-7 or something like that, where it wasn't full 11-on-11 football, and he was like, "Well, that's not football," So he famously pushed EA to make sure it was 11-on-11, and they did eventually. So I don't know if he had some input on that. But the NFL, I know they didn't like the league because it was like, it was like I want to say it was a rated M game. There was like drug use and all kinds of stuff in there, and I think the NFL just wanted to have control over their licensed game, and that's why they kind of hooked up with EA, and EA just started putting out bland Madden after bland Madden, and it was all about the stuff. I don't know. I don't even know what it's called, but the microtransaction stuff, that plagues those games. Plagues 2K2. I don't partake, but obviously it's there. So hopefully, it's just nice to have, like I said, some serious sports games on a Nintendo console again. We like to get more. But yeah, so that's that. MLB The Show. Kingdom Hearts Masterpiece for Cloud. Masterpiece for Cloud. That's just, to me, that's an oxymoron. Kingdom Hearts is not on Switch, so that doesn't exist to me. It's for the cloud. Most of those games can easily be, what's the word I'm looking for? Native to the Switch. Most of those games could be native. Only maybe Kingdom Hearts 3 may not, But again, when you have No Man's Sky, it's hard to say. And you have No Man's Sky and you have The Witcher and stuff like that. It's hard to say what can't be done, with some effort. So I don't know, man. It's just Kingdom Hearts does not exist on the Switch to me. It's not on the Switch. It's in some cloud, and you can use your Switch to get to it. But that's not the way. I heard a lot of people saying it's not very good playable wise, which is another reason I don't care. So, but I do care about this Clonoa Fantasy Reverie series, July 8th, 2022. Love Clonoa. I did have the PS1 games at one point. I'm sure I traded them or something back in the day, and they are like ridiculously expensive. I'm like $400-$500 for Clonoa 1 on PS1. PS2 version, or not PS2 version, but Clonoa 2 on PS2 is a little better. I think it's around $100 now if you want to play that. I have it, but it's just like that's this is great because obviously they're updating the visuals. They're not remastering, but yeah, they're remaking the game. It is a remake, not a remaster. It's not a upscale of the Wii game because it was a remake on the Wii for the first game as well. But this is a straight up remake, ground up, and it looks beautiful. And if you don't know Clonoa, man, Clonoa is special because it was one of those 2.5D games with the scaling that kind of like Pandemonium did, and to some extent Clockwork Knight did, but Pandemonium was way closer to what Clonoa does. I don't know which came out first. I remember playing Pandemonium first, but I don't know if it came out first. And even games like Knights had that kind of thing too, where it was a 2.5D kind of setup. It was full on 3D when you're knocked out of your Knights powers and you're walking around. It was a full on 3D game, but you couldn't stay that way for long, or you get killed or whatever by the Nightmare. So when you're flying around, it has that kind of 2.5D look, and that's what Clonoa does, and it's just gorgeous. The game is great. It can be pretty tough, but it's just charming as hell. Like, it's just, if you're a platformer fan, you'll love it. So I highly recommend you pick up this remake. If it's good, hopefully they don't screw it up. I don't see how you could, but it has happened to older games. So, but if it come out and it's good, I highly recommend it for platformer fans. Let's see, platformers in your DNA. That's why you bought 3 copies of Balan. You love it. That's funny, Richard. No, you're laughing at me now for my 3 copies of Balan, but one day I will have the last laugh. And they were super cheap. Like I said, they were $10 each. no big deal. But I think they're going to be rare. And I think they might serve even even the bad games. A lot of times the bad games that are rare still go for a lot. Some of the big titles I can think. I mean, it's not like crazy, but if you have them brand new, yeah, it's crazy if you have them brand new sealed. But like well, the Clay Fighter games, they're not great games. They're 63 and a third is awful, but it's super expensive on the N64. So, but yeah, Xander, I've been playing Pokemon Breath of the Wild, and I love it. Yeah, I haven't gotten Arceus yet because the Walmart near me does not have physical copies. I want a physical copy of it, and if you get it from Walmart, you get a $10 discount. And so I've been trying to wait for it, but I don't know if I can keep waiting because everybody around me is playing it and having a blast, and I'm just trying to get save $10. I mean, I just need to go ahead and buy it. Laker Link, I'm getting No Man's Sky, excited to try it, and getting Portal, love it. Yeah, so yeah, I recommend No Man's Sky. I have it on PS4. I play it in VR mode, which is really cool. So it's I don't. I mean, I was gonna say I don't know if the Switch could pull off VR with that game. I don't see why not, but it'd be cool to have that option on Switch as well. I mean, it's not gonna be great visually. It'd just be a cool novelty if they did that. But you know, it is what it is. Portal. That's what's up next. Companion collection. I played Portal 1. I didn't beat it on 360, and I never played Portal 2. So this would be a great reason for me to get back in and play those games, and a great way to play them. So I'm looking forward to them. I will pick them up, especially if they're good. If they're not, then no. But I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be good ports. And I kind of wish it was like, wasn't there like an orange box version or something that came with what was it, Team Fortress or something? I wish it was that, but I have I have it on PC, so I don't need it. But it'd be cool if it was the orange box version. I think it's called orange box, if I'm not mistaken. And didn't it have Half-Life 2 or something in there too? I think, I don't know, but yeah, that would have been cool. But definitely gonna pick this up for Switch and finally beat 1 and finally play 2. So. Okay. Now, Live Alive, which I used to call Live Alive, is awesome. It's coming out on what is that, July 22nd, and this is really cool because this is a game that never got brought over to the West. It's only in Japan. I remember hearing about it back in the day, and not, again, when they referred to it, everybody called it Live Alive, which to me sounds cooler. I don't know, it just sounds cooler, Live Alive. And I think there's a fan translation out there. I never touched. I was going to, but I just never got around to playing it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because now we're getting this full-on remake in 2D. What is it, HD 2D or whatever they call it? I still don't like the terminology. It should be like Pixel 3D HD. I don't know, something else. What's the pop-up? Picto Pop or something cool, something snappier than HD 2D. It just sounds weird. But it's getting that kind of remaster, a remake of it, and it's great. And I'll be able to enjoy the story of this game. I've heard so much. I believe this game led into, if I remember the chatter back in the day, it led into Chrono Trigger. I think a lot of same people worked on it. And it also led into a game that came out a couple years ago, Octopath Traveler, because you can totally see that because of all the different characters you play as, and it kind of, I guess all the stories kind of cross, and they're all pertinent to the main story. So very cool. I used to hear about it, again, chatter about it back in the day, and it looks great, and I'm looking forward to playing it. on, was that July 22nd, I think. So yeah. Here's another super out of left field pun surprise, and that is sports, Nintendo Switch Sports, which is basically Wii Sports for Switch, and looks great. I'm super happy for this. It's, I guess the timing's a little weird, but not really, because Nintendo says we're only in the middle of Switch's life cycle. So, and I think Nintendo wanted to lead with quote unquote more core games, more traditional games for the Switch, and that seems to have worked out. And now you can do the more quote unquote gimmicky stuff. We got Ring Fit Adventure, which is fantastic. And I think it's like 14 million sold, and that's just awesome for a game like that. It's basically, a fitness RPG, which is awesome, and to now get Nintendo Switch Sports, which is great. I mean, that's just perfect. I think it's going to help the Switch sell even more. I was one of the few people saying a long time ago that Switch was going to outsell the Wii. A lot of people didn't believe it back then. This is before. This is before the end of the first year. This is like mid 2017. I was saying that, and people didn't believe me. And I'm like, this thing is gonna sell, because it's like I was looking at, and it hasn't gotten to what I was thinking was gonna push it over that hump. It hasn't gotten to the point where it's like $99 and it's a handheld type of situation, and it's just gonna sell for $99 in the end of its life and just sell crazy numbers. It hasn't even gotten to that point yet. It's still selling for $300, $350 if you count the OLED, and there's no end in sight. you know, although some competition may be coming this month, so we'll see about that. But yeah, man, Nintendo. I mean, that's just awesome. Switch Sports, so down for that. April 29th. Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival. That's the drum games, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Never really played those. I know what they are, but I never really played them. Triangle Strategy, March 4th. Looking forward to that. I'm like, I'm going to do that demo, because there's a demo where you can play the first couple of chapters or something like that and transfer your save data onto the real game. But I'm not going to have time for that. I'm just going to have to wait until the game comes out and start it then. But I have no qualms about it. I don't need to play the demo. I know it's going to be good. So there's that. Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course. I've been holding off on Cuphead because they told me that a physical copy was coming, and I still have not seen it. And so this is DLC for the game, I believe. Promised DLC. So that's cool. Cuphead's awesome. I've dabbled in it. I haven't played it all that much. I played it on Game Pass. But I can tell it's an awesome game. It's getting a TV show on Netflix, which is very cool. I've heard good things about that. So, yeah, it's cool. Dread has a free update. A super hard mode, and I think it's an easier mode or easy mode. So that's cool that they're still adding stuff to that game. One of the, GOTY contenders. Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings. Nintendo Switch Online. Finally, I don't know what took so long, but there it is. I can't say I'm excited for it because I don't play Switch Online, and I already have those games. I have a repro Earthbound cart. I have Earthbound on my Nintendo Super Nintendo Mini, and I have both Beginnings and Earthbound on my Wii U natively, downloaded from the remember that thing called the Virtual Console. So it's cool for Switch owners who wanted this game on their current console. So that's a cool thing. Joe Henry says, "Sup, Big T." I think he's saying Big T, and it is a typo. Big T. What's up, Joe? Switch Sports uses an AMD upscale tech. Where'd you hear that? I guess I don't know. Does it need it? I don't know. Xander, that was Lake Link, by the way. Xander says, I just hope the next Nintendo console is a $500 console with more of a focus on power this time. Xander, sorry, man. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Um, Nintendo has kind of, I mean, they've moved on. They moved on from that since the GameCube. We've had 3 consoles since Cube that Nintendo's like, we're not gonna focus on, and that's just 3 home consoles, not counting the handhelds. Also, don't have an emphasis on the power. I just don't see Nintendo doing it at this point. I would like to see them try again, but I don't see them doing it. Maybe when they're the only game in town, like they're the only one still making consoles, and everybody else is like a app on your smart TV. Maybe they would do it at that point, but I just don't see it. Nintendo has given up on that, which I'm mostly fine with, but I'm still curious, like a lot of people, to see what they would do with that kind of power. That's why N64 is one of my favorite, or not one of my favorite, is my favorite console of all time, because they had, just power much better than everybody else around, and they did revolutionary things, I've never had the same feel that I've had playing Mario 64 for the first time. Never had that feel in gaming again. I think I've come close to that kind of wow factor when I played virtual reality for the first time, specifically the Moss game for PS4. That gave me a pretty good, close to Mario 64 wow factor. But it would be nice to see what Nintendo would do with that kind of power. All right. Where are we? Earthbound. Did that already. Zombie Army 4. Don't care. Don't know what that is. I don't remember it. But it's April 26th. Getsu Fumaden Undying Moon is out now. I don't remember which one that was. Demon Slayer looks awesome. Kimetsu no Yaiba. The Hinokami Chronicles is June 10th. I believe that was a kind of a beat 'em up style game, but I remember it was looking really good. Lego Brawls. I actually don't remember Lego Brawls from the direct. 2 Point Campus I do remember. Whatever. I'm not really into the 2 Point games, but look cool. And then Mario Kart 9. The big one, folks, the big one. And I want to do a separate video on this as well, going into my overarching thoughts. But so Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, Booster Course Pass, Wave 1 is March 18th. So we're getting 48 new tracks for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is ultimately, obviously, there's some new stuff that came in 2017, but it's ultimately an 8-year-old game, and we're getting DLC for it. And I've been saying for a long time, Mario Kart 9 was not coming. If you just look at the sales of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, why would you put out a Mario Kart 9 to muddy the waters of a game that's already selling like a new game, month after month after month, year after year? Didn't make sense. I remember, Mario Kart Wii selling like 1 million copies years after it came out, which is like crazy. I think during the Wii U era. And this is just on another level to that. So it's crazy. I get it. But just because I get it, I understand the business of it, doesn't mean I'm overly happy about it. Like I said, I'm going to do a separate video for that. I'll get into it. But it is cool. I will play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe more because there's new stuff going on with it, and it's going to be almost like a Smash situation where you're going to get new cups and whatnot. So that's cool. But like I said, I'll get into that in another video. Um, and then we got the Mega Blaster Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which looks gorgeous. The game looks phenomenal. And you can tell, again, this is a game that is built ground up on the Switch, whereas Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was not. It was definitely started off as a Wii game, and a Wii U game, and was ported over to Switch at some point. So this game is going to benefit from Monolith's knowledge of the Switch at this point, and it just looks great. It looks like a merging of every Xenoblade game up to this point. That would be Chronicles, that would be X, and that would be Chronicles 2. It looks like it merges all those games pretty well. I love the character designs. It's probably my favorite of the series so far. I mean, I haven't seen everything, but I love the character designs. It just looks great visually, and I don't want to say I can't wait because I can, because it's, oh no, another epic RPG to play when I still have some in the backlog. But it looks fantastic, and I'm gonna enjoy it. And it comes out September. Let's say this is September, so September 2022 this year. So fantastic! It looks great. I'm gonna have fun when that comes out. Retro Death, you and I should play some battle mode. T. None of the other fools care. Battle mode for what? Oh, for Mario Kart. I'd be down for that. Uh, let's see. I'm missing some comments here. CVC Gaming Podcast. What's up? I feel like the Switch can ultimately take the number one spot from PS2 at its current rate. Yeah, it could. It definitely could. It could even surpass the DS. I mean, obviously, it's a different platform. It's a handheld, but it could just be the overall highest selling gaming system of all time at this point. We'll see if it continues this momentum, but it's crazy. It's gonna still do okay because the other guys are having trouble producing consoles. So it's going to continue to be a default kind of pick for a lot of people who don't have a console. And, stuff like Wii Sports, look at me. With stuff like Nintendo Switch Sports coming out, it's going to tap into a more casual audience that it may haven't gotten to yet, So that's definitely going to help it as well. Let's see. Matthew Shea, the scaling tech is just AMD's open source FX Fidelity, would have to be implemented per game. Okay. Xander, do you want the next Kart game to be Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart Double Dash 2, or a Super Smash Kart? Well, Mario Kart 9 is already out. It's called Mario Kart Tour. And it's canon because tracks from the tour game are in there, and tracks from what's the Mario Kart on mobile? I believe they're in there too, if I'm not mistaken. So Nintendo will probably call the next Mario Kart 10, the next mainline Mario Kart, because they're going to be counting one of these iterations as 9. Because they don't number all of them, and so they can probably get away with it. So, but as far as your question goes, I think I would want not Smash Kart, but a Nintendo Kart. But I guess that would ultimately be a Smash Kart because you can do really cool things by just leaving the Mario world and doing stuff like you did with Zelda and Animal Crossing, right? You can implement, the worlds of other Nintendo games into the Xenoblade You have a Xenoblade track. That would be awesome. I would have no problem with that. So, and Shoke as a kart racer, it would be hilarious. So, I'd be down, totally down, for like a Smash Kart or a Nintendo Kart, being the next iteration, and you probably get double dash mechanics in that, So let's see. CBC Gaming Podcast. Xenoblade took my breath away. LOL. It's my second favorite series of all time. Nice. Visor says Team. I can't see it. Is it Malia or Team Nia? Right. I'm gonna say Nia because she has this cool, mysterious new look. So I'm gonna go with Nia for now. I'll go with Nia. Our Saravia says, should there be a 3D Smash Brothers? I don't think so. I think Smash should pretty much stay the way it is. It's 3D enough. You have 3D character models, 3D elements in the backgrounds. It's on a 2D plane. I think that's the way Smash should stay because the mechanics work that way better. If you go in 3D with Smash, I don't think it's going to work. You're going to end up with a Street Fighter EX plus Alpha type of situation, which I don't think you really want. Yeah. Xander, I want Nintendo to make their servers better for online games before they start making stronger consoles, if they ever decide to do that, so the games they do make can have better online functionality. I mean, I don't disagree. I agree with that 100%. It would be nice for the multiplayer company, the Fun Machine company, to really go in on online multiplayer and make it a thing that they care a lot about. And speaking of that, it's cool that they implemented the Mario Kart stuff with their Switch or the N64 Online, whatever it's called, the expansion pass, or whatever it is, to give it more value. Still not good enough for me because I don't really want to rent DLC. If I get DLC, I want to own it. So renting it's kind of weird for me. Because you're going to be basically forced at that point to continue to do that, or you lose the DLC. It's fine if you lose the service of the games or whatnot, but if you lose DLC for a game you're playing, I think that's kind of lame. So you're going to continue to have to keep paying it. So it seems like a great deal. It's definitely a better deal than what without that stuff, but it's not something that would move me to get Nintendo Switch Game Pass or whatever it's called, or Game Pass, Switch Game Pass expansion pack. I need more games. I need more systems. With the 3DS, Wii U eShops closing, we definitely need more systems on Switch at this point. I'll do that in a separate video because I really want to go in on that. Because it's inevitable. We understand that. I'm not upset that it's going away. I'm upset that it's going away and there's no other option. You know what I'm saying? That's what bothers me. I don't care that you're dropping the eShops for Wii U and 3DS, but the fact that there's no other option for me at this point, and I don't think there will be. There definitely won't be on Switch. Because they like renting you their catalog through the online service. So I don't like it. I don't know why they can't give you a buy option for this stuff as well as having an online service, because they probably know people won't care as much if you can also buy this stuff and you just buy it and you're done. They want to keep you. It's like putting out a multiplayer game and only giving you some of the modes, some of the features and stuff like that. They want to keep you engaged and keep you buying the service every year. So if you have options to buy games that are on that service, it makes it less appealing for a lot of people. So I just wish they would do better with that, but they haven't. But it is what it is. With the shop closing, perfect time to get Devil's Third. I don't know if you're kidding there, but I think that is actually pretty true because the game physically is pretty expensive. I want to say it's rounding $400. At least here, I think the PAL version is not that expensive. I think it's more reasonable. I think it's under 100. But the North American version of that game is super rare and very expensive. So I bought it, and it was like $55, I think, when I bought it. I wish I'd have bought a few more copies. But yeah, time to start downloading stuff on the Wii U if you haven't already. There's a great emulation going on the Wii U, all the way back to GameCube. Not all the way, even before GameCube, but certainly GameCube stuff. I believe Dolphin emulator is on Wii U, so you can get nicely upscaled visually, graphically, better versions of your GameCube games. So there's ways around it, which is one of the reasons I'm not too crazy about, overly going crazy about Wii 3DS closing down. Because, at this point, if you're not going to give me viable ways to buy your games, then I have other options. If I can get them the way I can through you like I would like to, then that's what I do. But, Nintendo is just really stubborn on this kind of thing for whatever reasons. They're very Disney Vault-ish on this stuff. I wish they weren't, but it is what it is. I don't think they're going to change in the foreseeable future, so no point in going too crazy about that. But yeah, let's see. Vizard says, while that Nintendo really will go head-to-head with Series X and PS5 for at least another 2 years, they really stepped up for 2022, but how long can that last? They better not Wii it move on too late. Yeah, I've been saying that, because you want that momentum going into the next console. If you hang on too long and you release something, nobody's going to care. Everybody's going to be on Series X or PS5, and your new thing is just not going to move anybody, and you're going to be screwed. So you want Switch 2 coming out while you're firing on all cylinders. Switch 2 for $399 or whatever it is. That way people can see the difference in the tiers of cost, and they can make a choice on getting the better version of their Switch, or going for the cheaper version, whatever they want to do. And they can see the difference. They can see the difference visually, and they can see the difference aesthetically as far as the console itself. So they got to be careful. And I know people hate when I bring up Steam Deck, but Valve is behind Steam Deck. They really are. I listen to a lot of Steam Deck podcasts and enthusiasts and whatnot, and it's going to be better than what you expect. And it will be something that challenges the biggest thing that the Switch does, which is let you take your games everywhere. Obviously, the Steam Deck doesn't have Nintendo games unless you hack the thing and you have, all the emulators and whatnot on there. I'm not going to do that to mine. But being able to take your PC experience on the go is going to be huge for a lot of people. a lot of people love the Switch for that. Being able to have PC games on the Switch. I said that would be a nice boon to the Switch, and it is, especially games that let you cross-play. That's one of the things I love about Witcher 3 on Switch and on what do I have it on GOG? So I can just upload my save to the cloud and continue on my PC and vice versa. Download that save to my Switch and continue from there. So that's a great thing to have. So once you get a Steam Deck, which is a really good price, and it's funny that people try to bring up it has flaws, but people try to bring those things up and then dismiss what the Switch has as far as storage goes. Switch doesn't have great storage either. Switch doesn't have a great battery life. This thing will give you 3 to 8 hours, depending on the game you play. Obviously, if you're playing like a 2D indie game, you'll get 8 hours. That's a lot. So it's very comparable as far as that goes. Storage starts at 64 gigs for the $399 model. And for some people, that's going to be enough. You know why? Because you can just take what you want. Obviously, some games are bigger than that. But if you're going to play smaller games, you can take a few games, with you. I have a good chunk of my Steam library on my laptop, which is only a 256 gigabyte hard drive, SD. What is it called? Solid state SSD hard drive, and I have a good chunk of my Steam library on that. And I can just switch out what I want when I want to go with it. So you can do the same thing with you don't have to have every game downloaded to your 64 gigabyte thing. And if you have a Switch, everybody who has a Switch has upgraded their hard drive space. So let's not act like that is a thing. And they've shown the Steam Deck to do it, and it's almost no difference as far as the loading times go if you get an SD card. And SD cards are, way cheaper now than they used to be. You can get a terabyte SSD or SD card for like $80 or something. That's great. And, some games you're going to want on your Steam Deck natively, but a lot of games will be just fine running off of your SSD or your SD card. Some of the older games you have. So let's not act like some of these faults are big. Now it is a big system, but I'm used to it because I don't have it in front of me. I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it hooked up. So, but I'm used to my Switch being wider anyway because I have the Split Pad Pro on it, which makes it bigger than just having the Joy-Cons. So yeah. Those things are not going to be a big thing. So, obviously, Nintendo game, you can't top it having Nintendo games, new Nintendo releases, is what's going to move Switches for the most part. But, there will be some chinks, some chip away from the Steam Deck for, third-party on-the-go stuff. Like, if you have a Steam Deck, are you going to buy third-party games on your Switch? Probably not. You buy them in your Steam Deck. You put them in your Steam library. So, yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see how long the Switch can actually hold on and continue to sell the way it does. I mean, at some point, everybody who wants a Switch is going to have one, and it's going to slow down. But it's doing pretty well right now, and I'm happy for it. I just wish, with all the success, it would do some small things, to make this console itself better. Themes, folders, so I can get all my games out of that gaming graveyard basement that your games go into if they don't fit on your front screen. They go into that basement, which is weird. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. I went over every game here. Pretty good direct. If I'm going to give it a grade, I'm going to give it a B. I've been going back and forth between a B and a B plus. I think it's in there, B plus. Showing Zelda, which I didn't think it would do, would it put it over to A? Maybe a release date for Bayonetta would have pushed it into A. Another surprise, maybe if we saw Metroid Prime 4, that would have definitely pushed it into A territory. So stuff like that. So it was right there on the cusp. But a very solid direct with a lot of variety to it. So, yeah, that's it, guys. If you don't have anything you want to ask me, I'll give you a couple minutes for that. And I'm going to get on up out of here. I got to do some straightening up in my office here and reinforcing this friggin' door so you don't hear what's going on in the next room. So let's see. Should Crash Bandicoot be a DLC in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Well, he's not going to be at this point. Should he be? I guess. I don't see why not. Sure. That's from R. Saravia. Or Saravia. Hope I said your name right. Malfunction. I think he's answering. Pfizer. What are you saying? That worries me. Honestly, I'm doing a game in Switch is hard sell despite sales. I'm not really sure I can understand that. They have 18 months, I think, as PS5. Xbox Series X continue. We'll see what happens. Yeah, they have a little bit of time before those systems, those consoles kick into gear and get through this shortage. So that bodes well for the Switch. And even with the Steam Deck, it's going to be a slower rollout. Valve does anticipate having millions in people's hands this year. So I think people are sleeping on the Steam Deck, which is fine. I mean, but Valve is looking to have millions in people's hands, and people want to bring up like the what were those called, the consoles, the Steam machines. Well, Valve wasn't in control of the Steam machines. They just licensed Steam technology to those boxes. Those boxes were not made by Valve in-house the way Steam Deck is. That's the difference, You could say the Steam controller. I mean, it's a controller. It's a accessory. It's a good accessory that just didn't do well. Is that a reason to dismiss the Steam Deck? I don't think so. Again, those are very different things. One's a controller, and one's a license. That they give to people who actually manufactured the Steam machines. They didn't manufacture them. They're manufacturing these Steam Decks. There's a difference, a big difference. So, but sleep at your own detriment. I think it's going to be a pretty good success. And my track record is pretty good. Again, Switch over 100 million, going to beat the Wii. That was me. But anyway, yeah, that's it, guys. I don't think I see anything else in there. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. I didn't expect to have anybody here. I thought I was just come in here, get my thoughts out, and move on. But thanks, guys, for showing up. The videos will start flowing. I promise you. I was on vacation. I have a lot of ideas. Things are going to be happening in the background. I'm waiting for something semi-big before I completely make a push on this channel. So we'll see where that goes. And then hopefully I can announce something cool. We'll see. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching and listening, you game boys and girls out there. And I'll see ya on the flip side. Peace out. And I'm going to be awkward getting out of here. But peace.